Good morning. I am Elizabeth Stewart. I've been a member here for, depends on how you count it, but about 12, 14 years. And I'm very proud to be up here in front of you again. I used to do this all the time, and now I just do it once in a while, which I think makes it a little more special for me. I am a petite, 75-year-old woman of European heritage, cisgender. My pronouns are she, her. And Carrie Zubiaga, I'm welcoming you from Stark, and this is for you. I am a little over 5 feet tall. I have silver gray hair and gray-green eyes. I am wearing a dress that I bought at a thrift shop in Australia, and it's an Aboriginal print. And Carrie, I just want you to know that I think about you every time someone gives a description because I know how much it means to you. So I would also like to acknowledge the land that we are right now on. The Timucua and Seminole Indians lived here long before we were even a gleam in anybody's eye. And I hope that we're taking good care of our property as they did in many years past. So I welcome you whether you are coming to us via Zoom from far away or Zoom from the comfort of your own home here in Gainesville. Most of all, I'd like to thank those of you who are here in the sanctuary, and I'm going to pause for a moment because we have another influx of people, so come on in, make yourselves comfortable. We're glad you're here. Okay, our speaker today is Ryan Hope Travis. Just stand up for a minute, Ryan. Is it proper to call you the spiritual leader at Unity Church up on 39th Avenue? And part of his bio says, learning is central to Ryan's life and ministry. For him, to learn is to surrender again and again to divine mind and the flow of spirit. It is this devotion to unfolding wisdom and the sacred journey that shapes every aspect of his work. And I'll tell you a little bit more about Ryan's background just before the sermon. But we're glad he was able to be with us today. After the service, we have coffee hour in the Phillips Hall, the social hall right next door. And if you are a visitor, please feel free to stop by the welcome table. It has a green tablecloth. And our welcome team would be happy to talk to you about Unitarian Universalism in general and our congregation specifically. So now let's settle in a little bit and just get comfortable. And know that you are exactly where you are supposed to be right now. For the next hour, we will share a special time carved out just for us. Please repeat after me. It's a blessing I was born. It matters what I do. My experience of the divine is true. And I don't have to go it alone. Kindling our chalice flame this morning is Heather Arata. Thank you, Heather. We light this chalice not because we must, but because we may. We light this chalice not because we have the truth, but because we each come bearing and seeking many truths. We light this chalice in connection across culture, distance, class, and language. We light this chalice that our religion may be a beacon of light, hope, and justice. We light this chalice to kindle our hearts and our minds. So today's service is a gift to us from Ryan and also from Aaron. Shout out to the tech team, who today, the tech team is Aaron. You might have noticed I am not Aaron. It was advertised that Aaron would be your worship associate. Well, Aaron had to step in to do tech. And at that point, Jeff Stevens stepped up, excuse me, to be your worship associate today. And we're all sending good wishes now. Nod your head. We're sending good wishes to Jeff, who is recovering from gastritis. So that's why I'm here. That's the line of succession. So, 'tis a gift. So our opening hymn is, "'Tis a gift to be simple," in the gray hymnal, number one, just plain 16, number 16. And the words are also up here at the front on the screens. "'Tis a gift to be simple." This is our congregational book of joys and concerns, and it sits on a table at the back of the sanctuary or the front of the sanctuary, depending on which way you want to think about it. And in a minute, we're going to get to our joys and concerns. But right now, we have an announcement from our congregational president, Tom Marisi. Tom is coming forward.
If you were at our congregational meeting last Sunday, we announced an award for Norton Lucky, and unfortunately, I didn't have the certificate. So now I have the certificate. Norton, would you come forward, please? We want to recognize Norton as an outstanding volunteer who's served on the governing board, works as an usher, and all sorts of other activities in the fellowship. So thank you very much, Norton.
So our first joy is our visitors. And we actually have them written on the right page right here in front of me. This last week was rather comical. We have Jess Rodriguez, Dominic Romeo Hansen, Linda Colvert Hansen, Rosalie Sprout, Ori Linder, Lila Mack, Shannon Martin. If you want to raise your hand and say hello, that's fine. We hope to get to meet you and speak to you after, if you'll stay for coffee hour, and we'll meet you and greet you. Okay, sometimes we have joys and sorrows and concerns that we choose to share out loud, and that's what we have in the book today. Pete Murray says, "I am pleased to announce that Diane D'Imperio of the League of Women Voters will be talking at today's Gainesville Humanist meeting, 1:30 at the Millhopper Library. She will be talking about the Resist Network and how to legally register voters." This is from Lillian Strader. She says, "I had minor pain management surgery on Tuesday. So far, so good. The major reconstruction is June 15th. Initial recovery is 6 to 8 weeks, with 3 to 6 months to the new baseline. Cards, text, and calls of encouragement would be greatly appreciated." There's more, but I want to share a little more about Lillian. Lillian was someone I sponsored as a new member. And although I don't know Lillian well, I think she's probably one of the bravest people I've ever met. What she's doing is having some reconstructive surgery to correct something that occurred in an accident quite a while ago. And so when I think of her, and we've texted back and forth, and I said, "How can we support you?" And she said, "Well, I do love cards and texts. And anyway, that just if I know people are thinking about me, it will be helpful." And I said, "Well, certainly we can do that." So I've asked the card box to be brought here because in the social hall, there is this box that has cards in it ready-made so that if you hear something in a joys and concerns and you're motivated right then to grab a card and write it, it's available to you. So these will be, in just a minute, on the black table as you leave the sanctuary today. Please help yourself. There are some gorgeous cards in here. Erin has been busy, and she's donated a bunch of them in here. So this specifically for Lillian, because in one of our texts, this is what she actually wrote. "I'm so proud to be part of a group of people who are there for those around them. That sense of community is what attracted me to UU. I'm not able to attend in person till things get a little easier, though I will try as I can. But I am here if there's something I can do in support of our church from home." So I think I can write her a card. Can you? Okay. This is from Jean Cook, back to our book. Jean says, "Tomorrow will be the last gender-affirming care clinic at Planned Parenthood in Gainesville. Please keep these patients in your thoughts as they navigate ever harder to get care." And this says that our child care staff person, Elise Walker, Elise, stand up, Graduated from high school last week. She's off to Santa Fe College next, and we are glad that she's staying with us during this transitional time. We love you, Elise. That's from James and the RE kids. Everybody, ready to holler, we love you, Elise? Ready? 1, 2, 3. We love you, Elise. For many of us, the joys and sorrows and concerns that we hold in our hearts are too heavy to bring forward openly. For that, we provide a possibility to share by putting a stone into our communal water bowl. And we let the water represent the warmth that surrounds this community, and we can share what we have in our hearts by putting a stone in the bowl. And Care Team Representative Kay Anderson will be standing proudly behind the bowl today. Thank you, Kay. Please come forward and drop a stone as you see fit.
Good morning. My name is James Chase, and I am the Director of Lifespan Faith Formation here at the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Gainesville. And I'm a white, medium-sized person with, it's getting kind of long. The hair, it's growing and it's getting curly. I've never actually had curly hair before, so apparently bodies change, hair follicles do stuff. It's great. Ringlets even, so we're having fun. I'm wearing a reddish t-shirt with a couple of buttons up near the top and a green vest that I cut the arms off of a thrift store shirt, and it has little pins on it with rainbows and owl pins, and there's a pronoun pin that says they, them, and other chalice things. It's my UU punk vest. That's punk with two U's, in case you were wondering. And today, my friend Rowan is here. Rowan, would you like to tell us what you look like?
So, I have a Minecraft t-shirt from it's supposed to be a scene from the Minecraft movie.
So it's a Minecraft t-shirt with a scene from the Minecraft movie. Red shorts.
Some reason I have this line that grows behind and I have a swirl.
You've got a cowlick and a swirl in your hair. You've got blonde hair, huh? Yeah. All right, well, Rowan is going to help me with our Moment for All Ages today, and I'd really like to invite anyone who wants to come forward, any ages, you're welcome to come sit on the floor. You don't have to do that, though. Rowan and I are going to sit down here on the steps, and today we have something called a Wonder Box. You are welcome to sit on the steps, but it's going to be Rowan and me talking, okay? Okay. In this box, we have something. Rowan, what do you think is in here? Probably some good things. Why would you wonder about bad things? It's a wonder box, and I'm on his side, actually. That's a really great point. It will probably always have some kind of good thing in here. I will probably not ever put, like, spiders or anything. Why would I even think that? I don't know. Intrusive thoughts. It's a wonder box of goodness, not scary things. Okay, so I wonder what's in here. I'm going to pull some things out, and I'm going to see if we can, I'm going to see if we can figure out a theme here. Okay, first off, Rowan, what are these? I wonder what those are.
These are dolls from the nursery.
Dolls from the nursery?
Like
Yep.
a set.
It's a set, and who do you think these people are to each other?
Mother to baby.
A mother and a baby.
Like,
Yeah, it's got long hair, and that one's a baby. So probably some kind of adult to child. It's a girl baby.
I don't know why, I just have a feeling it's a girl.
You have the feeling it might be because it's pink. Gender norms are real. Not like real, but they're deep in there. It's tough. All right, so probably a girl baby, and the baby has been thrown on the floor, but it's okay. She'll be fine, or he'll be fine. We don't really know. All right, Rowan, come here. There's more. Okay. What about this?
This is from the nursery. This is a food. This is lettuce.
It's lettuce. It's toy food from the nursery.
Did you know this is
Okay, hold on.
Oh, I'm just wanting to tell a fact.
I hear you, but I want to try to find the puzzle, because if we don't find the connecting piece here, we're going to be here a long time. Okay, and I was told to keep it kind of short. So what do moms do for their babies?
Feed them.
Feed them. What kind of food is that?
Lettuce, something healthy.
Something healthy. Okay, so moms might feed. They might not like it very much. What about these? Potato chips. So do moms feed their babies healthy food and potato chips? Parents feed their babies?
You should not feed your child potato chips.
You shouldn't feed your child potato chips?
Yes,
Why not?
because they don't have teeth and it's.
You're so right. You shouldn't feed your tiny baby potato chips.
Yeah, they don't even have teeth.
Let's go with what if it's a bigger child?
Yes.
Okay, so junk food sometimes is okay.
Allowed to do it,
Allowed to.
but don't eat too much.
but not too much. So you're picking up on something actually really important, a balance of healthy and tasty, right?
Yes.
Hmm. Why would a parent feed their child something healthy and tasty?
Wait.
There's a clue here. Why would they do that?
So they would like it?
So they would like it, but do babies like healthy food? Do kids like healthy food?
No.
Why do they feed them healthy food?
Because if you don't, then they'll become, they won't.
Okay, we're gonna move on. Okay, what about,
What if you would not?
what is this?
A heart.
What does this mean in the world?
Love you.
Love you. What about this one? What's this? Can you read this? It's a note that says, I love you. Okay, so parents do all kinds of things for their kids. Why do they feed them healthy food? Let's go back to that one.
Because it makes them strength. They make theirself They make theirself gooder.
It makes them,
Gooder.
it makes them,
Stronger.
helps them to grow strong. Do
Um,
you want things that you love to be strong?
yes, I do
Yeah?
actually love broccoli. And did you know actually that's young cabbage?
Broccoli is young cabbage. It's related for sure. Okay, so what else might you do for, yeah, I want to hear all about cabbage after this when we go. But for right now, let's think about real quick, what things might you do or might a parent do or anybody do for somebody else that they love? Hug them, yep. Care for them,
Be with them.
spend time with them,
If they get hurt, be with them and help them.
be with them and help them if they get hurt. These are all things that parents might do or grown-ups might do or people might do for the people that they love. Is any one of those things love?
Yes.
Which one?
Hearing the last one I said.
Being with them if they get hurt?
Yes, that's caring.
That's caring. Okay, so caring. Okay, what if, do you know that your parent loves you because they say, I love you?
Yes, but also what they do and how they act.
What they do and how they act. If they stop doing those things in any moment, does that mean that the love is gone?
No.
So is love getting a present?
No.
Is love feeling happy? No. Do they love you even if you're sad? Yeah. Do they sometimes do things that make you sad? One time. There's one. So if they do things that make you sad, does that mean that the love is gone? No. Are they maybe trying to help you to grow up to be a version of you that will be really sturdy in the world and will do well and will thrive? Do they work towards a world where you will be welcomed exactly as you are? Do you think that desire to work towards that world might be kind of how you know they love you? Maybe. Maybe not. There was that one time. So, jury's still out. So that's our Wonder Box, is we were here to just wonder a little bit about love. Thank you, Rowan, for helping me wonder about that. That's a lot of work to sit and wonder about love. That was a lot. So I think we're gonna call it, and we're gonna go out to the playground, and we're gonna have celebratory graduation donuts for Elise.
I was wondering. All right, I was ready for that. Not okay. We're good. This is a responsive reading. Your part is very simple. My part's a little more complicated. All you have to do when I put my arms up like this is say, "We give thanks this day." Let's try it. We give thanks this day. Perfect. For the expanding grandeur of creation, worlds known and unknown, galaxies beyond galaxies, filling us with awe and challenging our imaginations, we give thanks this day. For this fragile planet Earth, its times and tides, its sunsets and seasons, we give thanks this day. For the joy of human life, its wonders and surprises, its hopes and achievements. For our human community, our common past and future hope, our oneness transcending all separation, our capacity to work for peace, peace and justice in the midst of hostility and oppression, we give thanks this day. For high hopes and noble causes, for faith without fanaticism, for understanding of views not shared, we give thanks this day. For all who have labored and suffered for a fairer world, who have lived so that others might live in dignity and freedom, we give thanks this day. For human liberty and sacred rights, for opportunities to change and grow, to affirm and choose. We pray that we may live not by our fears, but by our hopes, not by our words, but by our deeds. A little earlier, we sang something called "'Tis a Gift to Be Simple." But right now, we don't need you to be simple, we need you to be generous. At the congregational meeting last week, I was very impressed. Thank you to those who gave us good information about what at least I interpreted it was a good financial status. And then on Monday, was it? I think the air conditioner unit blew out in the office, and the one next to it in the classroom building was going. So since last week's congregational meeting, suddenly now we're like $20,000 in arrears for air conditioning, which is well worth it because Cam, bless his heart, sweated his way through several days without air conditioning. So we're back online now and we have 2 air conditioners that are functioning beautifully. But that means, forget about simple, be generous. Could we have a round of appreciation applause for Jane? She always does such a beautiful job. Thank you, Jane. And now I'm going to tell you more, as promised, about Reverend Ryan Hope Travis, the minister at Unity of Gainesville, where he nurtures a spiritual community grounded in love, curiosity, and personal transformation. He is also an assistant professor of theater and performance at the University of Florida and a passionate teacher, filmmaker, theater maker, actor, and director. Phew. Ryan's creative and scholarly work lives at the intersection of independent film, devised theater, and traditional storytelling. His award-winning projects have premiered across the US and Europe, exploring themes of unity, community, and social justice. Whether directing a play or offering a Sunday talk, he is always inviting others into deeper awareness and concentration. We welcome Reverend Ryan Hope Travis.
Thank you so much, Elizabeth. Jane, before you head off, can you play something a little soft? I want to acknowledge how beautiful this stone moment was, and I want to acknowledge all the care and love that was endowed in these stones. And so at Unity, we acknowledge that prayer is a thought. So when we rehearse a thought, even if it's something that we don't want, that's actually a prayer. And so an affirmative prayer is simply to affirm that which we desire. And so as Jane plays, we're going to do a prayer. And so all we got to do is soften your gaze or close your outer eye, whatever your practice is. But I want to honor all the love that was brought to these stones and the hope for the future. And so again, if it's your practice, close your eyes. If not, soften your gaze. I invite you to take a breath and allow the chair to support you fully. In this divine moment, we affirm that there is only love. And that love is perpetually expressing itself through us, with us, around us, as us. And these stones represent our hope, our loved ones, our experiences, our joys and sorrows. And as was said, may this water symbolize the love that envelops that concern. And we affirm in this divine moment that this sacred concentration transmutes that concern into possibility and into love. Now. Can we say now? Now we gotta say now like we mean it. Now. That's it. Thank you so much, Jane. Jane is a rock star. I need y'all to know, okay? Some of us know Jane from UF, and so we're so thankful that Jane is still around, hopefully for many, many years. We appreciate you, Jane. My name is Ryan Hope Travis, and thank you, Elizabeth and Aaron and everybody who had a hand in me being here. As was said, I am the minister at Unity of Gainesville, right up the street. And I want to say this community, what you've created is something quite special. You can feel it on the grounds. And so when you pull into the space, you know you are in the midst of something special. And so I won't take up too much of your time, but this morning, when I was asking Spirit, what is this talk? What is this offering? It was quite simple. The reminder that no matter how complicated or complex a system may appear, it's actually really rudimentary basic laws at play. And we have the benefit of time. And so we can look back and see, oh, there's actually an arc. There's a cycle. There are traditions at play before we have the great aha. What I'm talking about is whatever we name a thing, whatever we decide to term it, that language is going to be and fully explaining what it is. So gravity is a thing that we're all experiencing right now. Some of us a little more gravity than others, right? We're all experiencing gravity right now. We can decide as a collective that we don't want to call it gravity anymore. We want to call it something else. Will it cease being what it is because we called it something else? Absolutely not. No matter how much we might wish our terminology changes what it is, the truth is there are laws at play. And one of those laws, and as soon as you come into the grounds, you see love. Love is love. I want to say love is all there is. We happen to term it different things. I'll give you an example. Oh, real quick, this is for Carrie. Thank you for that, Elizabeth, that definition, that explanation. So Carrie, I'm not sure if Carrie has transitioned, but for the Carries among us, I am wearing a dark blue suit. The next time I'm back, I'll tell you a poem my great-grandmother wrote about a dark blue suit. I'm wearing a dark blue suit. I have green mala beads, and I am of color. I am of Kenyan, indigenous Amazonian, many, many races embodied in my presence. And I use he, him pronouns. I am cisgender. Yeah, that's what you're seeing right now. That's for Carrie. So when I opened and said, what is this talk about? The reminder was no matter what we call a thing, it doesn't cease being what it is. And so earlier this week, in preparing for this talk, so I have 3 kids, by the way. We have a 7-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 2-year-old. So the house is popping, okay? And so I was watching a little kiddie programming, Blippi, if you in it, you know it. We were watching Blippi, and Blippi was explaining or talking to this scientist who was explaining what a bubble was. And what the scientist said was the water molecules, they love each other so much that they bind tight. And that when the soap gets in there, they still hold tight to each other. And they become a bubble. And my daughters are like, wow, that's what a bubble is. I thought how powerful of an explanation to say that the water molecules loves itself so much that it binds tight and refuses to let go, that even in the midst of another presence, i.e. soap, it still maintains that connection. And the scientist just said, oh, it loves itself so much. That is the grounding force of our time today. Whether we call love gravity, whether we call love any other terminology, that binding force is the thing that grounds all. Allness. Love is the reason why we are in this room right now. It was love that brought us to this bowl and endowed the. For help, I'll just come to this microphone. Aaron is back there rocking it. All right, there we go. Yeah, Aaron is rocking it back there. Thank you, Aaron. I'll stay here to keep it simple. So when we endow these stones, we brought with us love. Love is what brought us out of our seats. It was a desire for a thing to be better that enabled us to line up and place them in this bowl of hope. Whatever we want to call it. What I want to offer this morning is that presence, that ark, will always come to reveal itself. I'll tell you a quick story for my scientists in the room. We're going to stay on the science theme for a little while. Many of us know Galileo. What we don't know is that Galileo was actually, at the end of his life, he was imprisoned. He spent the last 9 years of his life condemned to house arrest. Why? Because he observed that the earth wasn't the center of the universe. He observed Venus and the moons, and he was able to track that movement. But the theology of the time was that it was a geocentric view that the earth, because the powers that be said that the Holy Scripture revealed that the earth was the center of the universe. And Galileo says, hold up, I can see it. Not only is that not true, I can show you it's not true. And so in 1616, the church, not to condemn a church, y'all, this is just, the truth of the moment, this is what history, the church says, listen, stop. And we're going to declare that this is heresy. So Galileo, he chills, he steps back. Okay, I got it, I'm gonna stay quiet. I see it, but I'll stay quiet. How long did Galileo stay quiet? Not long, y'all. He not only refused to stay quiet, he wrote a book. He wrote a thick manifesto mocking the challenge of not seeing the evidence, but because one's belief is so rock solid, we can't allow the evidence to demonstrate, oh, I was wrong. And so what happened when he wrote the book, y'all? Listen, expeditiously, a trial was made. And in the trial, he was forced to get on his knees and denounce everything he taught. But what did Galileo do? He did it. He did it. He got on his knees. He proceeded to denounce everything that he knew to be true. And what did the church say? They said, you're lying. Brother, you are lying. Of course he was lying. And so because of that heresy, he was actually condemned for heresy. Because he couldn't bring himself to fully denounce. Even the words are coming out of his mouth. The belief was so true to him. The reality of what he had witnessed was so true. Even the words betrayed him. And so Galileo spent the last 9 years of his life. He was 69 years old, by the way, when he did that trial. Can you imagine? Many of us are around that age. 69, standing on truth. And he spent the last 9 years of his life condemned to nowhere but his home. But what happened 350 years later? The Pope apologized. In 1992, the Pope said, listen, we was wrong. Our bad. Our bad, y'all. We was tripping. It took 350 years. Now, science by that point, of course, had said Galileo was right, by the way. Over and over and over again, science had determined that Galileo was accurate. But the church couldn't quite assemble itself to say we were wrong. But finally in 92, the Pope said, okay, enough. We were wrong. Now, my point is this, y'all. Does a truth cease to be a truth if it's not acknowledged? Of course not. We are the embodiment of that, all of us in this room. We reflect experience. We reflect a lifetime of witnessing. And no matter if what we perceive to be true is right or wrong, there are laws at play. The question is, will we have the courage, the openness, the vulnerability to say, I was wrong, faster than 350 years? In our lifetime, and y'all, we're talking about a few decades. In our lifetime, we can hold so rigid to a belief. And even when the evidence says we were wrong, I chose fear when I spoke to you that way. Forgive me, I didn't mean for it to come out like that. My intention was not to hurt you. I was wrong. Often, despite that choice, we choose the other choice, which is to double down. Or some of us on the other side, we may have been wronged, and we hold what we call a victim consciousness. We hold and double down on our righteous indignation, where we know we are on the side of fact, and we refuse, instead of gently nudging toward love, or allowing the unfolding to be what it is. Some of us in this room, we have been wronged, and all the evidence says that we are right. And I'm here to say that you may very well be right. But what is it to be right and have a hard heart? What is it to be right and to be unloved? What is it to be right and nobody wants to be around you? Oh my goodness, we know those people. Now, the anchor of this talk today is not to have us abolish what we know to be true, or to set aside when we've been wronged, or to allow people to walk over us. That's not it. The offering today is whether we call love by another name, if we truly and fully envelop ourselves in that truth, love is going to guide us toward the next step. The beautiful thing that unites all of us in this room is that we know that there are many paths to the same destination. Many paths. Whatever your spiritual system, whatever you were reared in, and whatever we're perpetually evolving into, there are many paths. I'm here to tell you right now. That is what binds us. And because there are many paths, there's going to be commonality in all of those systems. All the systems teach the same thing. It's all love. What are we going to choose? So Galileo in his lifetime never saw the benefit of the righteous I was right. He never saw it. But history tells us what it looks like when systems condemn. What is more powerful than to spend one's life seeking truth, and then to not see the fruit of that labor in their lifetime? That may very well be the outcome of many of us in this room. Does that mean we stop working toward justice? Absolutely not. Does that mean because we may not see in our lifetime the kumbaya, the love, the lilies in the fields, we should stop fighting for it? Absolutely not. We are the evidence of our ancestors toiling. The ability to pay for the new air conditioning units is the evidence of those who was before us. We are standing on the shoulders of labor and love and sacrifice. This very room is the evidence of love that came before us. Now, some of us may have been around for sure, right? But it wasn't just those of us sprinkled in the room. We are benefactors of the labor of another. Now, what is ours to do in this moment? The title of today's talk is, and I'm winding down, by the way, because I want to respect the time. The title of today's talk is The Gravity of Love. And it's a play on words. Gravity being a law. Gravity being a force that whether we name it something else, we still are going to be the recipients of its force. The law being its perpetual motion, its allness. The gravity of love. Love being those water molecules that loves itself so much, though no matter in the presence of another force, it still binds together. And y'all, I gotta say, a bubble looks kind of cool. Especially when you see a 2-year-old or a 3-year-old, even my 7-year-old. That bubble becomes majestic. And to see it refract the light, that bubble becomes something that is better than any toy I've seen so far. As a scientist on Blippi tells us, that that water molecule loves itself so much that it binds together. Can we love ourselves so much? Can we love each other so much that, as was said, when we place these stones in this bowl, that love envelops it, the community surrounds it, the community buffers whatever that challenge might be? Can we love ourselves first? We got to put our own oxygen mask on first, right? Can we love ourselves so much that we choose to forgive even when we were wronged? It doesn't mean we got to talk to that person or act like nothing happened, but to choose forgiveness, to soften our heart. Can we love ourselves so much that we go to another and say, listen, last month, I did this thing. And then guess what they always say? I do not know what you're talking about. They always say it. I don't know what that's about. Like, we carry the thing for months. I was talking to a friend of mine. She said that a guy chased her down. He found her after searching for a decade. And he said, listen, I just wanted to apologize. When we were in middle school, I used to tease you about those shoes. And she was like, oh, I loved those shoes. She had no idea what he was talking about. Him saying that reminded her of, oh, I used to love those shoes. Not, oh, those shoes had holes in them and I used to get teased. Her memory was the love of those shoes. And so anyway, my point is, y'all, will we love ourselves first and foremost so much that we choose to forgive, to soften our hearts? Will we love ourselves so much that we'll go to another when we know we could have done better? And then, will we love each other so much that when we see those who placed a stone, and we don't got to ask for details, we don't need any juicy gossip, but if we say, hey, you know I'm here, I saw you put 5 stones in. I'm with you. Right? Can we take a collective breath? A collective breath. Jane, if you could play for us really quickly. In this divine moment, we affirm that we have everything we need now to transcend and transmute whatever we experience. And that as we move through our day, throughout our week, throughout our months to come, we affirm that we possess now all that we need to choose love of self first and foremost, and love of our neighbor. We affirm these things and so much more by saying, and so it is. It is done. Thank you so much.
And now stand, or as you are willing or able, to join in our final hymn, number 318, We Would Be One. Heather, would you come forward, please, to extinguish our chalice? We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. So our service is over, but our work has just begun. Some of what Reverend Ryan spoke of reminds me of ouch, oops, which we've been talking about a little bit. And then it also reminds me of something else that's happening, and you'll be learning more and more about it, and that's the work that reconnects. And it's another way of saying love. Go in joy, go in peace, go in love, go have some coffee.